The Locky two-step took its first loss of the year last week at UFC Mexico as we saw Brandon Moreno fumble the bag for us and have to rip up that ticket. We had Zel Huber who came through and even Edgar Chairez in the Locky Trinity, but again, Moreno was the crux of that parlay there for you guys. So we take the first loss on the Locky Trinity, the Locky two-step, which now falls to 5-1 on the year, and then the Locky Trinity obviously falling there, going to 3-3. Again, still firmly entrenched in profit due to the plus money that we usually get with these plays, but we want to get back onto the winning track. I just want to quickly, once again, if you guys watched the two new breakdown video that I dropped out for the new fights that got announced for this card, you guys know I'm not in the big and skippy mood that I normally am in. Voice feeling a little bit. Went to a concert last night. It's been a long day, but managed to get some content and some researching done with. But I still want to drop these videos for you guys as well. So I apologize for not being as, or one, for my voice not being what it normally is, and two, not being as warm and skippy as I normally am either. But wanted to get this out for you guys regardless, because I know you guys don't give a shit about how I'm feeling. You just want the content. So let's get the content out there. All right, let's get right into this Locky two-step that I got for you guys. Again, I dropped these on the Patreon on Mondays for those guys over there, so they can lock in a better number than the one that most people will be able to get on Thursdays when I normally drop this segment. So I'll talk about the numbers that I got earlier this week when I dropped these plays or these two parlays, and then the one that you're actually going to be getting if you were to lock it in right now. So first step in the Locky two-step is going to be Vitor Petrino, who goes up against Tyson Pedro. Now, Tyson Pedro is a guy that's been overhyped a lot over his career, in my opinion, and I think Petrino is a dark horse to actually crack into the top 5 by the ending of the year, depending on how active he can stay this year. This guy, in my opinion, was somebody that I thought was mainly just a power puncher from his regional days, but he has shown through his UFC career thus far that he can go out there and keep his power punching style from minute 1 to minute 15, but also improve the grappling game as well. We saw him in the Marcin Prachnio fight look to get the fight to the ground and secure submission after submission until he was able to finally secure one completely in the third round of that fight. I would suspect that we see him try to use his striking a little bit more in this fight against Pedro, as I think Pedro has more of an opportunity to snag up a submission than Petrino possibly has. But I think Petrino is the better fighter overall. He doesn't get stuck in bad positions at all either. He often commands respect from his opponents with how fast and how much power he usually throws with, and I think he is the far superior fighter in this matchup, and I think he'll probably be one of the easier legs to cash this weekend as a chalky favorite. So give me Vitor Petrino as the first step in the Locky two-step. The second step that I got for you guys is going to be Shamil Gadziev, who is obviously in the main event, going up against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We got a clear striker versus grappler matchup, although we did see Gadziev try to show off his striking in his last matchup against Martin Budaya, which led to an early second-round stoppage over Martin Budaya. Gadziev is a guy that normally looks to get his opponents to the ground. He is a big, strong, heavy wrestler who is able to get opponents to the mat and then smash them from that top position or secure submissions. Obviously, Rozenstruik has a puncher's chance, as most heavyweights do, but I think Gadziev will be a guy that can control this fight from jump, should be able to get the takedown without too much work, too much resistance, and then once he's able to get it to the ground, I think that we'll see him secure a submission, whether it's arm triangle choke like I believe Rozenstruik tapped last time around against Jailton Almeida, or if it's a rear naked choke. I think that Gadziev will find the submission relatively easy here, and I was very surprised to see him at only minus 135, minus 140 earlier in the week. Now we're getting a steeper price on him. So the Locky two-step, Vitor Petrino and Shamil Gadziev, I locked it in earlier this week at plus 126. If you are to do so right now, at least on Bet Online, which is where I placed it, you're able to get plus 106. So about 20 cents shorter there. Again, another reason to possibly jump on the Patreon if you're liking these Locky two-steps and Locky Trinity parlays. You get a better price locking it in a little bit earlier when I drop it on Mondays. All right, let's try to complete the Locky Trinity here. And to do so, I think we're going to go with Mr. Christian Leroy Duncan, who's going up against Claudio Ribeiro. Now, both of these guys are guys that normally utilize a a striking heavy approach, a flashy striking heavy approach, I should say. Guys that want to go out there and knock their opponents out and make it to the highlight reel as well. But I think that Duncan has a little bit more method to his madness, whereas Ribeiro is kind of just throwing recklessly and looking to knock his opponents out. We've seen Ribeiro obviously pull off that victory over Joseph Holmes in the second round, but we did see him get finished by Roman Kopylov last time around. I think that we're going to see Duncan actually implement what he did against Denis Tululin. Look to wear on Ribeiro. Look to slow Ribeiro down, and then eventually start opening up with his agility advantage, his speed advantage, his power, and then eventually that long-range striking style that'll make it difficult for Ribeiro to counter him or even try to land something clean of his own. So I do like Duncan here to eventually get that second or third round stoppage, and I think that should allow us to complete the Locky Trinity and cash a ticket. So earlier this week, when I dropped it on the Patreon, we got plus 204 on the Locky Trinity. Now you're getting about 30 cents cheaper at plus 174. There you guys go. Locky two-step, Locky Trinity. We're almost done with all the segments for this UFC Vegas 87 fight week. I will see you guys again tomorrow for the quick picks version of the full card breakdown, and then also the 3 best prop bets that I got for you guys for UFC Vegas 87. I will see you guys then. Peace.